2025 그리스도 TV 시청자 여러분 안녕하십니까? 8월 11일 월요일 오후 11시 23분입니다. 영어 성경을 읽고 있습니다. 이번 시간은 구약 성경 열왕기하 7장 1절부터 읽어보도록 하겠습니다. 아침에 열왕기하 7장을 읽었는데 음소거를 누르는 바람에 오디오가 입력이 안 됐기 때문에 다시 읽게 되었습니다. Then Elisa said, Hear ye the word of the Lord. Thus says the Lord, tomorrow about this time shall a measure of fine flour be sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel in the gate of Samaria. Then rode on whose hand the king leaned answered the man of God and said, Behold, if the Lord would make windows in heaven, might this thing be? And he said, Behold, thou shalt see it with thine eyes, but shalt not eat thereof. And there were 4 laws men and the entering in of the gate, and they said one to another, Why sit we here until we die? If we say we will enter into the city, then the famine is in the city, and we shall die there. And if we sit still here, we die also. Now therefore come and let us pour unto the host of the city answer. If they save us alive, we shall live, and if they kill us, we shall but die. And they rose up in the twilight to go unto the camp of the Syrians. And when they were come to the uttermost part of the camp of Syria, behold, there was no man there. For the Lord had made the hosts of the Syrians to hear a noise of chariots and a noise of horses, even the noise of a great host. And they said one to another, Lord, King of Israel has hired against us the kings of the Hittites and the kings of the Egyptians to come upon us. Wherefore they arose and prayed in the twilight, and left their tents and their horses and their asses, even the camp as it was, and prayed for their life. And when this lepers came to the uttermost part of the camp. They went into one tent and did eat and drink and carried 10 silver and gold and raiment and went and hid it and came again and entered into another tent and carried tents also and went and hid it. Then they said one to another, we do not will. This day is a day of good tidings, and we hold our peace. If we tarry till the morning light, some mischief will come upon us. Now, therefore, come that we may go and till the king's household. So they came and called unto the porter of the city, and they told them, saying, we came to the camp of the Syrians, and behold, there was no man there, neither voice of a man, but horses tied, and asses tied, and the tents as they were. And he called the porters, and they told it to the king's house within. And the king rose in the night and said unto his servants, I will now show you what the Syrians have done to us. They know that we be hungry, therefore are they gone out of the camp of the hide themselves in the field, saying, when they come out of the city, we shall catch them alive and get into the city. And one of his servants answered and said, let some take, I pray thee, 5 of the horses that remain, which are left in the city. Behold, they are as all the multitude of Israel that are left in it. Behold, I say, they are even as all the multitude of the Israelites that are consumed, and let us send and see. They took therefore 2 chariot horses, and the king sent after the host of the Syrians, saying, go and see. And they went after them unto Jordan, and lo, all the way was full of garments and vessels, which the Syrians had cast away in their haste. And the messengers returned and told the king, and the people went out and spoiled the tents of the Syrians. So a measure of fine flour was sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel, according to the word of the Lord. And the king appointed the Lord on whose hand he leaned to have the charge of the gate, and the people trod upon him in the gate, and he died, as the man of God had said, who spake when the king came down to him. And it came to pass as the man of God had spoken to the king, saying, 2 measures of barley for a shekel, and a measure of fine flour for a shekel shall be tomorrow, but this time in the gate of Samaria. And that Lord answered the man of God and said, Now behold, if the Lord should make windows in heaven, might such a thing be? And he said, Behold, thou shalt see it with thine eyes, but shalt not eat thereof. Then spake Elisa unto the woman whose son he had restored to life, saying, Arise and go out and thine household and sojourn wheresoever thou canst sojourn, for the Lord has called for mine, and it shall also come upon the land 7 years. And the woman arose and did after the saying of the man of God, and she went with her household and sojourned in the land of the Philistines 7 years. And it came to pass at the 7 years, and that the woman returned out of the land of the Philistines, and she went forth to cry unto the king for her house and for her land. And the king talked with Gehazi, the servant of the man of God, saying, Tell me, I pray thee, all the great things that Elisa has done. And it came to pass as he was telling the king how he had restored the dead body to life, that behold, the woman whose son he had restored to life, cried to the king for her house and for her land. And Gehazi said, My lord, O king, this is the woman, and this is her son, whom Elisa restored to life. And when the king asked the woman, she told him. So the king appointed unto her a certain officer, saying, Restore all that was hers, and all the fruits of the field, since the day that she left the land, even until now. And Elisa came to Damascus, and Ben-Hadad, the king of Syria, was sick, and it was told him, saying, The man of God is come hither. And the king said unto Hazael, Take a present in thine hand, and go meet the man of God, and inquire of the Lord by him, saying, Shall I recover of this disease? So Hazael went to meet him and took a present with him, even of every good thing of Damascus, 40 camels burden, and came and stood before him and said, Thy son Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, has sent me to thee, saying, Shall I recover of this disease? And Elisa said unto him, Go say unto him, Thou mayest certainly recover, howbeit the Lord has shewed me that he shall surely die. And he settled his countenance steadfastly until he was ashamed, and the man of God wept. And Hazael said, "Why weep so, my Lord?" And he answered, "Because I know the evil that thou wilt do unto the children of Israel. Their strongholds wilt thou set on fire, and their young men wilt thou slay with the sword, and wilt dash their children, and rip off their woman with a child." And Hazael said, "But what is thy servant a dog, that he should do this great thing?" And Elisha answered, "The Lord has shewed me that thou shalt be king of Syria." So he departed from Elisha and came to his master, who said to him, "What said Elisha to thee?" And he answered, "He told me that thou shouldest surely recover." And he came to pass on the morrow that he took a thick cloth and dipped it in water, and spread it on his face, so that he died, and Hazael lay in his stead. In the fifth year of Joram, the son of Ahab, king of Israel, Jehoshaphat being then king of Judah, Jehoram, the son of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, began to reign. 32 years old was he when he began to reign, and he reigned 8 years in Jerusalem. And he worked in the way of the kings of Israel, as did the house of Ahab, for the daughter of Ahab was his wife, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord. Yet the Lord would not destroy Judah for David, his servant's sake, as he promised him to give him all way right, and to his children. In his days, Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah, and made king over themselves. So Joram went over to Sail, and all the carriers with him, and he rose by night and smote the Edomites, which compassed him about, and the captains of the carriers, and the people poured into their tents. Yet Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah until this day. Then Limnah revolted at the same time, and the rest of the acts of Joram and all that he did, they narrated in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah. And Joram slept with his fathers, and was buried with his fathers in the city of David. And Ahaziah, his son, reigned in his stead. In the 12th year of Joram, the son of Ahab, king of Israel, did Ahaziah the son of Jehoram king of Judah came to Reagan 220 years old was Ahaziah when he began to reign, and the reigned 1 year in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Athaliah, the daughter of Omri, king of Israel, and he worked in the way of the house of Ahab and did evil in the sight of the Lord, as did the house of Ahab, for he was the son-in-law of the house of Ahab. And he went with Joram, the son of Ahab, to the war against Hazael, king of Syria, in Ramoth Gilead, and the Syrians wounded Joram, and King Joram went back to be healed in Israel of the wounds which the Syrians had given him at Ramoth Lama when he fought against Hazael, king of Syria, and Ahaziah, the son of Jehoram, king of Judah, went down to see Joram, the son of Ahab, in Israel, because he was sick. And Elisha the prophet called one of the children of the prophets and said unto him, "Gird up thy loins and take this box of oil in thine hand and go to Ramoth Gilead." And when thou comest thither, look out, there Yehu, the son of Jehoshaphat, the son of Nimsi, and go in and make him rise up from among his brethren, and carry him to an inner chamber. Then take the box of oil and pour it on his head, and say, "Thus says the Lord, I have anointed the king of Israel." Then open the door and flee, and tarry not. So the young man, even the young man, the prophet, went to Ramoth Gilead, and when he came, behold, the captains of the host were sitting, and he said, "I have an errand to thee, O captain." And Yehu said, "Unto which of all us?" And he said, "To thee, O captain." And he arose and went into the house, and he poured the oil on his head, and said unto him, "Thus says the Lord God of Israel, I have anointed the king over the people of the Lord, even over Israel. And thou shalt smite the house of Ahab thy master, that I may avenge the blood of my servants the prophets, and the blood of all the servants of the Lord at the hand of Isabel." For the whole house of Ahab shall perish, and I will cut off from Ahab him that peace against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel. And I will make the house of Ahab like the house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, and like the house of Asa, the son of Ahiah. And the dogs shall eat Isabel in the portion of Israel. And there shall be none to bury her. And he opened the door and fled. Then Jehu came first to the servants of his lord, and one said unto him, Is all well? Wherefore came this mad fellow to thee? And he said unto them, Ye know the man and his communication. And they said, It is false. Tell us now. And he said, Thus and thus spake he to me, saying, Thus says the Lord, I have anointed the king over Israel. And then they hasted and took every man his garment and put it under him on the top of the stairs, and blew with a trumpet, saying, Jehu is king. So Jehu, the son of Josaphat, the son of Nimsi, conspired against Joram. Now Joram had kept Ramoth Gilead, he and all Israel, because of Hazael, king of Syria. But King Joram was returned to be healed in Israel of the wounds which the Syrians had given him when he fought with Hazael, king of Syria. And Jehu said, If it be your minds, then let none go forth nor escape out of the city to go to tear it in Israel. So Jehu rode in a chariot and went to Israel, for Joram lay there, and Ahaziah, king of Judah, was come down to see Joram. And there stood watchmen on the tower in Israel, and he spied the company of Jehu as he came, and said, I see a company. And Joram said, Take on horsemen and send to meet them, and let him say, Is it peace? So there went one on horseback to meet him, and said, Thus says the king, Is it peace? And who said, What hast thou to do with peace? Turn thee behind me. And the watchman told, saying, The messenger came to them, but he comes not again. Then he sent out a second on horseback, which came to them, and said, Thus is the king, is it peace? And Jehu answered, What hast thou to do with peace? Turn thee behind me. And the watchman told, saying, He came even to them, and comes not again. And the driving is like the driving of Jehu, the son of Nimsi, for he drives furiously. And Joram said, Make ready, and his chariot was made ready. And Joram, king of Israel, and Ahaziah, king of Judah, went out even in his chariot, and they went out against Jehu, and met him in the portion of Naboth the Israelite. And it came to pass when Joram saw Jehu that he said, "Is it peace, Jehu?" And he answered, "What peace, so long as the holy tombstone of thy mother Isabel and her which crafts are so many." And Joram turned his hands and prayed and said to Ahaziah, "There is treachery, O Ahaziah." And Jehu drew above with his full strength and smote Jehoram between his arms, and the arrow went out at his heart, and he sunk down in his chariot. Then said Jehu to Baal his captain, take up and cast him in the portion of the field of Naboth the Israelite. For remember how that when I and the rode together after Ahab his father, the Lord laid this burden upon him. Surely I have seen yesterday the bird of Naboth and the blood of his sons, say Esau the Lord, and I will requite thee in this bread, says the Lord. Now therefore take and cast him into the bread of ground according to the word of the Lord. But when Ahaziah, the king of Judah, saw this, he fled by the way of the garden house, and Jehu followed after him and said, "Smite him also in the chariot." And they did so at the going to Gor, which is by Ibrim, and which is by Ibleam, and he brought to Mogiddo and died there. And his servants carried him in a chariot to Jerusalem and buried him in his sepulchre with his fathers in the city of David. And in the 11th year of Joram, the son of Ahab, began Ahaziah to reign over Judah. And when Jehu was come to Israel, Isabel heard of it, and she painted her face and tied her head and looked out at a window. And as Jehu entered in at the gate, she said, "Had Shimuri peace who slew his master?" And he lifted up his face to the window and said, "Who is on my side? Who?" And they looked out to him to all three eunuchs. And he said, throw her down. So they threw her down, and some of her blood was sprinkled on the wall and on the horses, and he trod her underfoot. And when he was coming, he did eat and drink, and said, go see now this course woman, and bury her, for she is a king's daughter. And they went to bury her, but they found no more of her than the skull and the feet and the palms of her hands. Wherever they came again and told him, and he said, this is the word of the Lord which is spoken by his servant Elijah the Tishbite, saying, in the portion of Israel shall dogs eat the press of Isabel. And the carcass of Isabel shall be as dung upon the face of the field in the portion of Israel, so that they shall not say, this is Isabel. And Ahab had 7 sons in Samaria, and Jehu wrote letters and sent to Samaria unto the rulers of Israel, to the elders, and to them that brought up Ahab's children, saying, now, as soon as this letter comes to you, sing in your master's son, sons are with you, and they are with you, carriers and horses, fence the city also, and armor. Look even out the best and meet notice of your master's sons, and set him on his father's throne, and eat for your master's house. But they were exceedingly afraid, and said, behold, 2 kings stood not before him. How then shall we stand? And he that was over the house, and he that was over the city, the elders also, and the bringers up of the children, sent to Jehu, saying, we are thy servants, and will do all that thou shalt bid us. We will not make any king to do that which is good in eyes. Then he wrote a letter the second time to them, saying, if ye be mine, and if ye will hearken unto my voice, take it the heads of the men your master's sons, and come to me to Israel by tomorrow this time. Now the king's sons, being 70 persons, we are with the great men of the city which brought them up. They came to pass when the letter came to them that they took the king's sons and slew 70 persons, and put and there came a messenger and told him, saying, they have brought the heads of the king's lay them into heaps at the entering in of the gate till the morning. And they came to pass in the morning, that he went out and stood and said to all ye be righty as behold, I conspired against my master and slew him, but who slew all these? Know now that the earth shall fall unto the earth nothing of the word of the Lord which the Lord spake concerning the house of Ahab, for the Lord has done that which he spake by his servant Eliah. So Jehu slew all that remained of the house of Ahab in Israel, and all his great men, and his king's porks, and his priests, until he left him none remaining. And he arose and departed and came to Samaria, and as he was at the Sheorim house in the way, Jehu met with the brethren of Ahaziah, king of Judah, and who are ye? And they answered, we are the brethren of Ahaziah, and we go down to salute the children of the king and the children of the king. And he said, take them alive, and they took them alive, and slew them at the feet of the Sheorim house, even 240 men. Neither left he any of them. And when he was departed thence, he waited on Yehonadab, the son of Rechab, coming to meet him, and he saluted him and said to him, is in heart right, as my heart is with the heart? And Yehonadab answered, it is, if it be given me son in hand. And he gave him his hand, and he took him to the chariot. And he said, come with me and see my seer upon the road. So they made him ride in his chariot. And when he came to Samaria, he slew all that remained unto Ahab in Samaria, till he had destroyed him, according to the saying of the Lord which he spake to Eliah. And Jehu gathered all the people together and said unto them, Ahab served Baal a little, but Jehu shall serve him much. Now therefore call unto me all the prophets of Baal, all his servants, and all his priests. Let none be wanting, for I have a great sacrifice to do to Baal. Whosoever shall be wanting, he shall not live. But Jehu did it in subtle to the intent that he might destroy the worshippers of Baal. And Jehu said, proclaim a solemn assembly for Baal, and they proclaimed it. And Jehu sent through all Israel, and all the worshippers of Baal came, so that there was not a man left that came not. And they came into the house of Baal, and the house of Baal was full from one end to another. And he said unto him that was over the best 3 bring forth best 2 months for all the worshippers of Baal, and he brought them forth best men, and Yehu went and Yehonadab, the son of Regab, into the house of Baal, and said unto the worshippers of Baal, search and look, that there will be here with you none of the servants of the Lord, but the worshippers of Baal only. And when they went in to offer sacrifices and the burnt offerings, Jehu appointed fourscore men without, and said, if any of the men whom I have brought into your hands escape, he did let saw him go, his rifle shall be for the rifle of him. And it came to pass, as soon as he had made an end of offering the burnt offering, that who said to the guard and to the captains, go in and slay them, let none come forth, and they smote them with the edge of the sword, and the guard and the captains cast them out and went to the city of the house of Baal. And they brought forth the images of the house of Baal and burned them. And they break down the image of Baal and break down the house of Baal and made it the wrought house unto this day. Does Yehu destroyed Baal out of Israel? Howbeit from the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin, Yehu departed not from after them to with the golden calves that were in Bethel and that were in Dan. And the Lord said unto Yehu, because thou hast done well in executing that which is right in mine eyes, and hast done unto the house of Ahab according to all that was in mine heart. The children of the fourth generation shall sit on the throne of Israel. But Yehu took no heed to work in the law of the Lord God of Israel with all his heart, for he departed not from the sins of Jeroboam, which made Israel to sin. In those days, the Lord began to cut Israel short, and Hazael smote them in all the coasts of Israel, from Jordan eastward, all the land of Gilead, the Gadites and the Reubenites and the Manassites from Aroel, which is by the river Arnon, even Gilead and Basan. Now the rest of the acts of Yehu and all that he did and all his might, they are not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel. And Jehu slept with his fathers, and they buried him in Samaria. And Jehoahaz, his son, reigned in his stead. And the time that Jehu reigned over Israel in Samaria was 28 years. And when as Atalia, the mother of Ahaziah, saw that her son was dead. She arose and destroyed all the seed lawyer. But Yehosheba, the daughter of King Yoram, sister of Ahaziah, took Joash, the son of Ahaziah, and stole him from the king's sons, which were slain, and they hid him, even him and his nurse, in the bedchamber from Atalia, so that he was not slain. And he was with her, hid in the house of the Lord 6 years, and Atalia did reign over the land. And the 7th year, Jehoiada sent and patched the rulers over 100 with the captains and the guard, and brought them to him into the house of the Lord, and made a covenant with him, and took an oath of them in the house of the Lord, and showed them the king's son. And he commanded them, saying, "This is the thing that ye shall do. A third part of you that enter in on the Sabbath shall even be keepers of the watch of the king's house, and the third part shall be at the gate of Sur, and the third part at the gate behind the guard. So shall ye keep the watch of the house, that it be not broken down. And the two parts of all you that go forth on the Sabbath, even they shall keep the watch of the house of the Lord about the king. And he shall compass the king around about every man with his weapons in his hand, and he that comes within the language, let him be slain, and be ye with the king as he goes out, and as he comes in. And the captains over the hundreds did according to all things that Jehoiada the priest commanded, and they took every man his men that we are to come in on the Sabbath with them that should go out on the Sabbath, and came to Jehoiada the priest, and to the captains over hundreds did the priest give King David spears and shields that were in the temple of the Lord. And the guard stood, every man with his weapons in his hand, round about the king, from the right corner of the temple to the left corner of the temple along by the altar and the temple, and he brought forth the king's son and put the crown upon him and gave him the testimony, and they made him king and anointed him, and they clapped their hands and said, God save the king. And when Athaliah heard the noise of the guard and of the people, she came to the people into the temple of the Lord. And when she looked, behold, the king stood by Peter as the manner was, and the princes and the trumpeters by the king, and all the people of the land rejoiced and blew with trumpets, and Athaliah ran to her clothes and cried, treason. But Jehoiada, the priest, commanded the captains of the hundreds, the officers of the host, and said unto them, have her force without the language, and him that follows her kill with the sword. But the priest had said, let her not be slain in the house of the Lord. And they laid hands on her, and she went by the way by which the horses came into the king's house, and there was she slain. And Jehoiada made a covenant between the Lord and the king and the people, that they should be the Lord's people between the king also and the people. And all the people of the land went into the house of Baal and broke it down, his altars and his images, break they in pieces slowly, and slew Matan, the priest of Baal, before the altars, and the priest appointed officers over the house of the Lord, and he took the rulers over hundreds, and the captains and the guard and all the people of the land, and they brought down the king from the house of the Lord, and they came by the way of the gate of the guard to the king's house, and he sat on the throne of the king's, and all the people of the land rejoiced, and the city was in quiet, and they slew Athaliah, which was what beside the king's house. 7 years old was Joasa when he began to reign. 열왕기하 11장 21절까지 읽어봤습니다. 다음 12장은 다음 시간에 읽어보도록 하겠습니다. 시청해 주셔서 감사합니다. 안녕히 계십시오.